Arsenal versus Chelsea. Here we go again, back in the Premier League, and this has just become an even bigger game than before. This game here is massive, and you just look at what Man City have done. They managed to scrap a win, 1-0 against Leeds. Leeds realistically should have had one more opportunity, but the referee blew the whistle way too early, if you ask me. But regardless, it doesn't matter what happens there. What happens is what we do. That's what matters. And right now, we have to go against Chelsea, one of our fiercest rivals, to keep our form going strong. And we need to go strong in this form. Looking at Chelsea now, they are 6th place. They have a game in hand. They could equal points and actually go over if they equal points today. They could go over Liverpool. And as for Man United, who have Man United got? Man United have got Crystal Palace. Well, I mean, you would expect Man United to win that. But regardless, with this, Chelsea will probably want to get all 3 points to go back on level with Liverpool and go above Liverpool. And especially if Man United drop any points. However, it is so vital that we get these 3 points as well and restore our lead. And even though Man City will, at least for a long while, have that game in hand over us, seeing how it is now, with only a 2-point margin, is getting very, very shaky. And this is why form is everything right now. And Man City, I don't think they've been 10 out of 10 amazing. What I do think they've done, however, is that they've got the job done. And that's consistently, they've got the job done. Looking at their previous matches, they beat Liverpool 2-1. They absolutely decimated Fulham 3-0. They beat Newcastle 2-1. And then they beat Leeds earlier today 1-0. And you see what I mean? They're not winning typically by crazy margins. They're winning by getting the job done. And that is something that we need to do. And if we can comfortably beat Chelsea, I'm not saying this will happen, but if we can beat Chelsea comfortably, then that can massively increase our form. And I do hope it does. Because we beat Tottenham fairly comfortably. We were by far and away the better team. We ended up with a 3-goal difference, 4-1. And if we beat our other London rivals, Chelsea, we beat them 3 or so 0. That's a massive push forward to win the rest of our games, which are bringing them up now. Give me just one moment. This is taking forever to load. Who are going to be Brighton, Mansfield, Leverkusen, Everton, Leverkusen again, and then Man City at the end of the I can't speak English today. I apologise. And then it's going to be Man City for the Carabao Cup, and just before, I believe, international break. And then after that, in April, which starts on April the 11th, we've got a very important 3 games in that. But focusing on Chelsea. Chelsea dropped points against Burnley. And look, this isn't me throwing shade at Chelsea, right? We dropped points against Wolves, but I do think Wolves are starting to pick up a little bit of something for themselves. As for Burnley, I'm not really sure what to say about them. Haven't seen them all season, really. But as I say, this isn't me throwing any shade at Chelsea, but this is me saying we've got to get the job done. And we've already beaten Chelsea twice this season. We've drawn once, beaten them twice, and if we can beat them again, that will be a great position to be in. Not the strongest position in the Premier League to be in. We'd still be 5 points clear, but City have a game in hand. And it will continue that way until either City drop points or we play them at the Etihad. But please, for the love of God, Arsenal, we need to keep a winning streak going. Actually, who does City have onwards? Sorry, I need to check that now. City have got Nottingham Forest. And they've got West Ham, which I imagine they beat both of them. They should be playing Palace at some point, but that's to be decided. Chelsea. Then they've got Arsenal. But you look at the other games as well. the Champions League. You look at the draw that we got. Let me bring that up now. I actually have to look this one up. Champions League draw. Here we go. So City are going to have to play Real Madrid and then probably Bayern Munich afterwards, and that's going to be very harsh for them. Whereas we have to play Leverkusen and then probably, I would say, Sporting, and that is going to make a lot of difference in this, because Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are a much harder draw than Leverkusen and Sporting, with all due respect to Leverkusen and Sporting. So, if all goes well, and they either get knocked out of the Champions League, or failing that, get so worn out that they drop points in the Premier League, I would take either or, really. That could open up the way for Arsenal to solidify their position right now in all competitions. But anyways, let's move on from that. As I say with Chelsea, they're currently 6th place, and we're first, of course, and we need to win this. And that's all I've got to say for that. Now, getting into the starting lineup, and starting off in goal is going to be David Raya. I'm a little bit concerned about some of the mistakes that he made, but he is still our best goalkeeper. In the centre-back, I'm going to go with William Saliba and Gabriel. And they're the best centre-back pairing in the league right now. I mean, it's not often that teams really go at us, but when they do, I trust them more than I trust anyone else. In the right wing, I'm going to actually say Ben White, if I'm honest. Or is Ben White injured? Hold on. He's not injured, is he? No, he isn't. No, he is injured. Ah, shit. Okay, assuming Ben White isn't injured, because it doesn't say the extent of his injury. Okay, well in that case, assuming that Ben White is injured, it's going to have to be Jurrien Timber again. But Jurrien Timber has got to just start performing now. Seriously. That's a few games now that he's had where I've just sat there and thought, has he really been all that? And on the left wing, I'm going to go with Piero Hincapié. Not left wing, left back, sorry. And Piero Hincapié, he's really outdone himself in that position. Calafiori's been making a couple of mistakes that I'm a bit concerned about, and I do think he'll get that out of his game once he gets more game time. But right now, Piero Hincapié, to me, is just completely undroppable. Now, in the midfield, I'm going to start us off with Zubimendi, and this is very big for us now, because I'm saying with Zubimendi. Zubimendi's a great player, but only if you are willing to attack. Otherwise, you may as well play Norgard. And we need to get this in us now, that we've got to go forward, we've got to press them, we've got to play fast counter-attack football if we can. But we can't sit back and do nothing for a whole game and expect to win every single one. Not that I ever expect to win every single game, but still. And with him is going to be Declan Rice, and he's been performing brilliantly. He did make that mistake, to be fair, against Tottenham, but that's probably his first mistake this season. Overall, he's been absolutely unstoppable. And in the front three of the midfield, because I remembered that we have a different formation now, it's going to be Eberechi Eze. It's going to be in the middle, Eberechi Eze. In the left, I'm going to say, do I want to play Trossard or Martinelli? I'll play Trossard. And on the right, I'm going to say Bukayo Saka. And to be fair with Bukayo Saka, he did have a good game against Tottenham, but he needs to have more consistently good games. And apparently, if I read somewhere correctly, Cucurella did a hamstring. So, if Cucurella's done a hamstring, plus Fofana isn't available for the game, as well as Levi Colwill, but mostly Cucurella, Saka should have a little bit less fear going forward now, because let's be honest with Cucurella, he's just going to kick him around senselessly and not get a booking for it. But without Cucurella, I do think Saka can get a bit more freedom now. And of course, going forward, it's going to have to be Victor Gyökeres. And who knows with Victor Gyökeres? he's really performing right now. He's getting the goals. He's got 15 or 16 goals in all competition. I believe it was 15. And to me, that's not quite flop territory, especially if you consider how he started. He's really starting to show up now. And if he can keep those kind of goals coming in, then I think we've got our goal scorer. But it's very vital to see now how he ends the season. But anyways, that is my match preview. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And I will see you for the match review of Arsenal versus Chelsea. Goodbye for now.